here, you're going to restaurants, you're going on trips and all that. But when you get down sick, when you in a financial bind, that's the true, to me, that's a true measurement of the person that you're dealing with. It ain't because somebody can wine and dine you. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good to have someone to take you out, spoil you, and I truly believe in chivalry. I open car doors, and all that stuff. I ain't always kept it up, but at least I started out good, and I'm just being honest. But yeah, I think that people just we put too much value on the appearance of a person, and we put too much value on the material thing, and that's part of my growth that I've learned to look past those things and look at the person, that person, who they are. Yeah, do I got a certain type I like? Yeah. Everybody have a certain type of men and women, what they like or whatever the case may be. But I think we let the physical and the material thing blind us from the real person. Again, everybody's going to put their best foot forward in a relationship. Most people that care about making an impression.
Right. At least they should.
They should anyway. But it's past that point of the sexual part. It's past the point of material thing. It's who that person is. And at the end of the day, when things get hard, are you going to stay and work on things, or are you going to walk out the door? See, I think we got this toxic. I don't even know where that word. Tell me where that word came from, because I see more women. I know some people listen to my podcast. They're gonna say toxic mean this to a woman. And I read a lot of Facebook pages, and I read a lot of books. I'm reading a book, The Reflection of a Man now. But this word to me that seems to just have came out of nowhere. Everybody now, speaking to the women, I'm in a toxic relationship. This is toxic.
All right, so I'm gonna look up the definition so we have it exactly.
Okay, yeah, let's look that thing up and see what it says.
All right, so there are two different definitions. So it's an adjective, which is poisonous. Mm-hmm. So then there's a noun, a poisonous substance. So something is poisonous. So you think of a healthy relationship. So that's something it's good. It replenishes you. It helps you to grow. Okay. Then something is toxic, is poisonous. It's killing you. Mm-hmm. So stress, it was killing you. That's toxic. The things that you were doing that created that stress, or the things that you weren't addressing, that was toxic. But then the things that you did to help heal yourself, to grow and to learn and to move past that, that's healthy. So whenever people are talking about a toxic relationship, mm-hmm. it's killing them, it's hurting them. So it's the passive aggression within that communication. It's the when they talk about toxic masculinity. So there's masculinity, that's the thing, but then there's toxic masculinity. So there's nothing wrong with being a man, smelling like a man, opening doors, those kinds of things. When it becomes toxic is when it starts to hurt other people in the process. And, not just incidental, like, just a happenstance, but something that truly hurts and suppresses, whether it be an individual, a group of people, or even themselves. So that's what they're talking about. Trying to think of an example.
Well, let me jump right in here if you allow me.
It's your show.
See, I appreciate you doing that, but I think that people have took that word and they tried to tie it to every little thing that goes wrong in their relationship. Listen, there's no perfect man out here. There's no perfect woman out here. Everybody that you think about this. If I met you and me and you started dating, you had a past before I met you, I had a past. Mm-hmm. I'm going to bring things with me, you're going to bring things with you. At the end of the day, those things that I bring to the table, you bring to the table, that's our past or part of us. Either you willing to deal with those things or you're not willing to deal with those things. But there's got to be a compromise, because there may be some things I don't like about you. The things you do, not I don't like about you.
I get what you're saying.
And there gonna be things that I do that you don't like about me, and a lot of time you learn those things over time. Like I throw my clothes down, I don't put them in the thing. Some people that irritates them. They're like, clothes basket is right there. I'm using that for example. I'm very clean.
I was about to say, wait a minute. At the beginning of the show, you said,
yeah. So I'm just using it for example. Let me go ahead and put that disclaimer out there now. But I'm just using it for example. All right, you snore. Mm-hmm. I snore too, but you might snore louder than me and wake me up out of my sleep. I mean, there's things that, you know, that people bring to the table, but I think that I understand that, but I think that everything that goes on in a relationship ain't toxic. And people put their own value, their own terminology onto things that ain't necessarily what it is. Because if I say to you, if me and you date, and I say, I want to spend more time with you, and you're a part of an organization, okay, and you really into this organization, and I say, hey, I want to spend more time. I think, you know, we need to spend more time with you. Some people, and I'm using it for example, this is not towards anybody. Some people will say, because I belong to a couple organizations, different fraternities. Some people will say, well, you're killing who I am. This is what I want to do. This is part of what this is me in a nutshell. And by me saying, well, I think that, you know, you put too much into that. I'm just using it for example. Some people say, well, he's toxic because he doesn't want me to do what I want to do.
Gotcha. So you're saying that people are overusing the word for incompatibilities,
yes,
versus actual toxicity.
That's correct.
Okay.
I thank you. See, that's why I got you hosted, because you made me smile real smart with a country boy with a 12th grade education, a little bit of college. You make me sound very, very intelligent. I appreciate that.
So you are, just because maybe you're not using $1 million language, it doesn't mean you're any less smart. I feel like we're about to go into this whole session and be talking for hours here, yeah, if we're not careful. But I think that it's important to not mask that. You know, sometimes people, they mistake certain things for what it's not. Almost like what you're talking about with toxicity. Just with that, sometimes people mistake being incompatible with being toxic. And just because the two butt heads because you don't agree, you don't align, it doesn't mean that it's toxic. It doesn't equal that. And wow, we've talked for a little bit longer than what I anticipated. Okay. We really got into it. This is so I want you to know I'm excited. I'm excited about more episodes of Kelvis, just Kelvis, because you have a lot to say that's meaningful and that can really impact the community. Not just the men that are out there, but the women who are listening too, trying to understand what's going on in my man's head. I don't get it. Right. Maybe Kelvis can tell me.
Right.
So,
and again, that's just my personal opinion. But we get ready to close. But I just want everybody to please, if you listen to my podcast, share it. Go to my YouTube page, which is Kelvis 10, because I've come to realize there's some other Kelvis out there that's on YouTube. Facebook is just Kelvis. On Twitter is Kelvis Podcast. And on Instagram is Kelvis Podcast. Just search me. I'm on Spiderweb. I'm on some other platforms. Just search me. You can shoot me. You can go to my podcast. You can leave me a message. You can shoot me a message on my Facebook page. You can send me a message on my Instagram. I just want to hear, your feedback on how you think this was. If you have any questions or you want to comment to something I said, I really appreciate you giving me hosting this and giving me this opportunity to really get myself out there. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. And I hope that this is a blessing and gives you insight into me, Kelvis, and Kelvis Podcast.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for your time today, and thank you for letting me be your host here for your show. I know that you could have got anybody to help to be the host here, but you asked me, so thank you.
And I appreciate it. Thank you.
So thank you all for tuning in to the Kelvis Podcast. Make sure to tune in for more.